Hello, everyone. My name is Christie Ellis, and I'm with Keller Williams Integrity First here with Bill Paden from Direct Mortgage Loans. How's it going, Bill?
Great. How are you doing?
I'm good. Here again on another Monday because we like to have our conversations on Monday because the weekends,
Consistency.
yes, and the weekends bring a lot of stuff, right? I feel like
Mhm.
Mondays are the days where everybody regroups because for us as real estate, where weekends are our most popular time.
Monday's my admin day to catch up from everything over the
Exactly.
weekend.
That is
100%.
mine as well. I take no meetings until afternoon because Monday mornings are just busy. Unless there's something special that comes up. Like today, I'm going to go show houses this morning. Let's talk about buying houses because
Yeah.
it's you know what? All right, so I'm doing this program called Bold. It's in Keller Williams, right? And they put us in teams. And here's one of the things I found not overly surprising, but I think validating. I feel like all of last year, I hardly had any buyers. I was like, I think it was 90% listings and 10% buyers.
Mhm.
After the election, and I'm not sure, I don't think it mattered either way, whoever, after the election, it felt like gates opened and buyers came out of everywhere. And so
Mhm.
a lot of buyers. I had a lot of buyers at the beginning of the year. It seems to have calmed down a little bit. We are definitely lower on the demand than normal. I really blame that on the stock market the other day. Like the last few weeks, I know it's gone back up, but this is really our luxury buyer season and our 55 plus buyer season. So I feel like that's put a little bit of a slowdown on
Don't be
those
gun
things.
shy now with the volatility, right?
Yes.
And I would agree with you 100%. It's been a roller coaster with the buyers, but I think that people are at a point, many buyers at a point where they're bursting at the seams. So it's becoming a
Yeah. Oh,
need,
100% agree.
not a want, is what I'm seeing.
And that's it. So during this bold thing, we have to keep track of how many buyers and sellers we have for the week. And the number of buyers that people have is quite significant compared to, I bet you, if we would have done this same exercise last year.
Oh yeah.
So rates, like you're saying, rates, I think people are finally falling. This is the rate. Here's where we are. Every little
Mhm.
bit's going to count when it goes down. But so I think what that's telling us right now for sellers,
Yeah.
listen, if you want to sell your house, listen to the improvements your agent is asking you to make. Because
Mhm.
I think right now we may see prices come down, but here's what we're saying. Prices are coming down in the on market stuff because people don't have them priced correctly. So there's a difference between a list price and a closed price, right? List price could be $1 million for a $200,000 house. You can ask anything you want in the world. It's a beautiful system, whatever you
Yeah.
want. Is someone going to pay it? Probably not. So the number when it closes is the most important number for us. And we're seeing as real estate agents out there in the market, clients aren't just buying anything, right? Like they are definitely looking for as updated, as functional.
Yeah.
Floor plan functionality is huge.
That's
It's
expensive. That's expensive to change, right?
expensive. If you
So
want to take
you
out a
like
wall
to
now,
blow out a wall, that's not going to be
holy
cheap.
cow.
Yeah.
Exactly. But if you
And I
plan to
think when
live
if you
there,
yeah, and if you have a house that is priced right and is in good shape and looks good, the moment a buyer walks into a home and it needs certain improvements or certain things, the numbers keep adding up in their head. They might not be the most accurate numbers,
oh yeah,
but
because buyers think in thousands.
oh yeah, oh new paint, that's $20,000.
And
20,000.
exactly, but that's exactly right. And that's what we're going up against. And so with this lower demand, but the increased supply, this is the most houses we've had on the market since I think like 2020, 2019, something like that, like 26,000. We, as a seller, it is absolutely 100% okay to sell a house. Like my clients are actually under contract right now on a house that was on the market only a couple days because it
Yeah.
fits. It was a great property. It fit them. It works. It was the sellers had it set up for success.
Yes.
And so that's what you have to do this becomes a business transaction now a little bit, right? I try and educate the sellers all the time. You can't be emotional about your house anymore. This is no longer your house. It's a product on the market. And that's really hard sometimes. And I totally get it. You raised your family there, or you had special memories in that property or whatever. It's hard to do
Mhm.
that disassociation thing.
Yes, I get it. And even when we bought our place in up north 2 years ago, there's still the emotions that come into that. It's tough to separate it, right?
Oh, yeah.
And selling is a whole different thing. I remember when I sold my first home, I was like, Yeah, I'm not. The appraisal came in, I think 3K less. Like, I'm not gonna drop at 3K. They could pay that. In the grand scheme of things, I wasn't gonna lose a deal over $3,000 when you're
Right.
talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars being moved around. So
It's true.
I do the home tours once a
Oh,
month in
right.
Gilbert, and you see the homes that have been on the market for 60, 90, 100 plus days. And there's a reason why they're on the market. And it could be little things, but I hear all the time sellers will say, oh, we had an offer and we were just a couple thousand off, but we just couldn't get there. And now they've been on the market for 3 more months and they haven't gotten any offers. So it's
Right.
just, you got to be willing to negotiate. And I think that honestly, you hit it on the head. Someone will only pay, a house is worth what someone will pay,
Right.
right? For the
Right.
home. And I think, yeah, you might see the average come down a little bit, but that's
We're
taking a lot
expecting
into
that.
account.
We're expecting that because the
Yeah.
demand is lower than normal and the inventory is not high. It's good. It's what it's supposed to be for a healthy market. If the demand
Yes.
were up some, if we were in the sixes right now for rate, I bet you this would it would be a
Oh,
totally different animal,
we'd
right?
be back below 10,000 in a heartbeat.
Exactly. So we get that. But I think our point for this is as a seller, if you want to sell your home, you're hiring your agent
Yeah.
to help sell your home. Let that agent help you sell your home. Listen to the stuff because those are the important things.
100%. Couldn't agree
You know,
more.
I know. So hopefully everybody else listens too. Because I get it. It was funny when we sold our home in Club West. We were there 23 years. Like I was being so stoic, and then it was like that last moving truck left. I bawled. I get it. Like I understand. And so I've been there. I totally can relate. I can do both. This is the beautiful part about being a Gemini. I see both sides of things. I see that how, hey, this is a house, it's a thing. But I'm like, but it's my house. I get it. I totally get both of them.
100%.
All right, Bill. So what are we looking at this week? Last week we had
This,
some stuff going on. You said that people were going to be looking.
yeah, we had some reports come out. Market honestly was a roller coaster, losing a little bit more hair here, but it was had ebbs and flows that we saw, but for the most part, stay status quo. It didn't make big shifts that didn't recover. And then now it seems like all eyes are on the Fed meeting today. And I'm sorry, this week. And it's not that they're going to cut rates because I think there's like a 1% chance they would cut, which I don't think they're going to. I think the big thing is that they're going to listen to what Jerome Powell and the Fed are going to say afterwards during their press conference. What does the future look like? Is there going to be a cut in July, which most markets are pricing that in already, and kind of looking at the future direction. Okay, now you've got these reports. The job market still came in a little hotter than expected. Other consumer reports came in light. Consumer spending's way back. So where does it sit? Where does the Fed want to sit? And the biggest concern, like we talked last week, is the potential stagflation. So that's really what they're looking for the commentary and the testimonial, I guess you would say, after they're done with the meeting and kind of that matrix that they send out. That will dictate where things will go. Especially if they say anything about not having a cut in July, I think rates would jump right back up for a little bit because they priced that in. That they say good chance of X cuts. If it's more than three, usually we'll see an improvement in the market because that's what they're expecting this year. And once again, cuts don't always impact rates directly. It's the mortgage-backed securities, it's the bond market, and it's how they react to that commentary. So it's going to be hopefully a good week, but we'll keep a close eye on it. Most clients, I'm just giving them their options. Hey, you're on the contract. We could lock now and we don't have to worry about it anymore. Or you can float through this and see what happens. But here's the risk. Wish I had a crystal ball, but don't have one quite yet. Still looking. But
I haven't found that one either.
yeah,
I
still
keep
trying to
going to
find it.
yard sales to see if I can find it. It's not there.
But what I'm seeing with the contracts that are coming in are seller credit for the buyers to cover closing costs or do a temporary buy down or something that gives some relief. I'm seeing a lot of that on almost all the contracts. You're seeing seller credit come through to help cover that closing cost. So it makes me feel good that it's still a great opportunity for buyers to make a good investment and potentially put themselves in a better position. So
True. And if you're currently out there looking, you probably want to think about locking in or getting something. Not that you have to sell for a property, but maybe that whole I'll wait on it thing may not be the best idea. It just depends. We don't
I
know.
mean,
That's the thing. We just don't know.
This market, and you got to look at, you got to ignore the headlines of the national market, because the
Mhm.
national market is very different than the Arizona market.
Very different.
Most other states that I'm licensed in other states, there's a ton more equity supply in other states that are impacting things than here.
Yeah.
And I think we're at that influx here in this market where, like you said before, if we can get into the low sixes and fives on rates, there's a lot
I
of
mean,
pent
do
up
you really will
demand.
ever see fives again in the next couple of years? I don't mean, I'm just happy if we're in the mid sixes.
I hope, I think that's where the balance market comes. I think when you're, as a buyer and a seller, if we could have rates honestly in the fours and fives, that's the happy median that I've
I
seen.
don't know if we'll ever, I don't know. I
You'll
still
never
think,
see twos and threes again. I
no,
know
we'll
that.
definitely never see that again, but I don't think we'll, I can't imagine anything happening in the next 12 months that would get us to that point where we're into the fours and fives. That would be
It
huge.
would take a big pivot from the Fed.
Huge.
It would take a, I'll be honest, an act of war or something dooming like that would do that. I think the Fed is doing that sit and wait, and on purpose, because what's the point of shifting these rates so quickly and then the next day having to shift them back up? They don't want to get into that where they're chasing inflation. But
Yeah.
also, like we talked about last week, I think the Fed is working with an old playbook. So they are having to create a new playbook because this market is not, isn't
Not the
acting the
same.
normal way.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
yeah.
So next week, if people don't hear about what the Fed did this week, we will definitely recap it for you and bring it to your attention. And as
Yeah.
always, just whatever insight. And like we said last week, we're going to have a couple people starting to show up on our show with
Yep.
us over here, because a home isn't just about buying and selling. It's about everything in between, because you have to live a
Mhm.
whole life in that house while you're there. So we're going to start bringing in some folks who can share some insights and some information that will hopefully be helpful. And Bill and I find them to be amazing people, and we hope you do as well. Considering Bill and I are amazing, that's why we feel like it's a good match. So
100%. 100%.
thanks again, Bill. I appreciate you being here, and I
Yep.
will see you next week.
See you then.